If you look at the video before he started shooting at him, that driver was coming up on the left side of him.
They say he had a history of like violent behavior or like being dangerous.
What up, trucking family? We back at it again. I'm your guy Priest, along with my co-host Gene.
Right.
And you in the Truckers Lounge. Been a minute.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so what we got on the agenda today is Chesapeake, Virginia truck driver accused of, well, he was arrested for shooting at another truck driver during a road rage incident. They say that the article say he threw a water bottle at the driver, shot at the driver shot back. Nobody was hit apparently. Is that about the same information you got on it?
That's pretty much what I had seen. But it's a lot of truck drivers. It starts way before what we saw.
Right. Right.
Now I would like to see what they got on the camera footage prior to him pulling his gun out and shooting. Show the camera footage maybe 30 minutes prior to that. How long had they been going back and forth? 30 minutes, an hour prior to that.
Right. Speaking of the camera footage, we got a little bit of the tape from that was provided by the sheriff office. I guess it was the the sheriff office that arrested him. So,
okay.
Look like we got video here.
Out on the interstate. This all started when the suspect allegedly threw a water bottle at another driver. Thanks for joining us on this Thursday. I'm Luann Sorrell.
And I'm John Brown. This is video from inside the suspect's truck, and you can see him fire several shots out the window. Fox 35 Marlisa Goldsmith is live in the...
Now, by no means, in my opinion, through my experience, he's not the only guilty one, in my opinion. As you can see in the video, you can see the other driver swerving over on him too. So they was going back and forth. If you ask me, I think it's probably going to be a case where they're going to come back and possibly arrest that other guy. Does my mic sound fine to you?
Yeah, no, you good.
Okay. Yeah, they're probably going to come back and arrest the other driver as well too. Florida, they are pretty tough on gun crime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember we was talking earlier about the lady that was dealing with I suppose her marriage was an abusive situation. And she discharged the firearm in the air, like in the ceiling of their garage. And I think that lady got like 7 years.
Yeah, I remember that story. I think she probably just got out recently, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I think that was like in 2016, 2017 when that happened. Somewhere up in there, I believe.
Yeah, it was during the Obama administration, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so it went like 14, 15, because I know it wasn't very long ago.
Well, Obama was still in office in 16, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was. Trump got in 17, right? 2017 to January. 18. So I think it was January 2017 when he took office.
Okay.
And then he would have gotten out of office January 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that might have been during the Obama administration, but you could clearly see at that video with the way Florida laws are, you can clearly see both of them are kind of going back and forth, and the fact that both of them discharged the firearm, it may have been a situation that the only evidence that they may have had was the dash cam. Maybe his company saw, the shooting, and maybe they sent it to the sheriff's department before they even arrested him.
Well,
some companies will do that.
Yeah, but what I got from when I had read it, because I was wondering if they had gotten in touch with the company prior to that. What I read, they said that the investigators, as they called them, the investigators has received information as to where he was located, and they said they received the dash cam footage from his truck, from the cab of his truck. I took it to mean that they, I don't know, was he a company driver or what, but the way I took it from when I read it, as if though they retrieved it themselves, not that it was sent to them from a company.
I don't know what kind of upgrade the ELD companies have done to their dash cam system since I kind of shut it down due to the rates going down. Mm-hmm. But when I was up and running last year, there was no way for DOT to retrieve video directly from the driver's dash cam. Now, that's not to say, with all these FMCSA regulations they've been trying to pass, that's not to say that they don't have that capability now. If that is the case, we'd like to, if anybody, be more than happy to put it in the comments to let us know that the ELD companies have upgraded that way. But I always thought that either had to come from the admin or the ELD company themselves.
Okay.
All right. So, but I'm just kind of wondering, the time scale from the time they got the reports that they arrested them, that they retrieved that video, because if they had the company name, which I'm pretty sure the driver who got shot at did, he probably got the truck number. That's all you need for, authorities or their company to contact them and say, hey, got a driver shooting at another driver, So I don't know, man. It's just, I'm not going to blame that on the rates. I'm not even going to blame that on the new drivers. You can pretty much blame that on time changing, because like you said earlier, it was a time in trucking history when drivers would pull over on the side of the road and just get it on. It wouldn't be no death situation. It was more like a brotherhood thing. We get into it, we fight, I kick your ass, you kick mine, and we okay.
Right.
But now it's a little bit more deadly now.
Right.
People nowadays, they fear strangers. People, like, I'm pretty sure back in the days before the dawn of social media and all these cameras, every time you turn around, something getting recorded. I'm pretty sure crazy stuff was happening like that, but it wasn't a fear of it because you didn't see it. But now that you're getting the opportunity to see it, it's more of a fear now. So that makes it even more dangerous for somebody, trying to indulge in a fist fight when this other person is on something else.
Yeah, and they said that they said a couple things about the guy. They said he had a history of like violent behavior or like being dangerous. So I didn't see what all his stuff he may have done from the past, but that's what the media outlets said. He had a history of being dangerous. But one thing that they had said when they was listing his charges, I was reading, they said he was charged with shooting a missile into a vehicle, aggravated assault,
right,
criminal mischief, and displaying a firearm during the commission of a felony charge. So I'm wondering, when does it go to being shooting a missile? I mean, is that a Florida thing? Or because you're moving down the highway, it goes from being shooting a weapon like a gun to a missile or something? I mean, or is that just a language for shooting the bullets or something?
Yeah, it could have been a misprint. It could have been a misprint. But I saw that too. But you said one of them was discharging a firearm. What now?
And displaying a firearm during the commission of a felony charge.
During the commission. I guess that would be the key word, commission. What would that mean in that language?
It sounded like doing the commission of a felony charge, as if though they was getting ready to arrest him and charge him, and he displayed his firearm. That's what it sounded like to me. I don't know.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is that situation wasn't a felony until he got charged.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you know, and that's the thing that, you know, that a lot of people who, you know, are the good fellas gotta understand that when they come to charges, they can charge you with anything. It's just up to you to prove your innocence. So they can, in a situation like that, he gonna get charged with something, but I doubt if he get charged with all that. Because you know, in an awkward situation like that, when they don't have all the evidence, a lot of time what law enforcement do, they just pile up charges to make sure they got the right charge eventually when the DA looks at it.
Yeah, and then they say he had a second handgun, but he didn't use it.
Oh, I didn't catch that. For real? They say he had a second?
They found another second handgun, I guess, in the cab of the truck, basically within arm's reach. But
so they wasn't talking about the other driver when they said second handgun. They was talking about this driver specifically.
They talking about him. They found a second handgun on him. I was like, damn, man got two guns. Like, wow.
Well, see, I didn't even know until I didn't even know till recently that drivers not having a handgun in their truck was a trucking company policy rather than a federal policy. Because, you know, when 9/11 happened, they put a lot of rules on trucking.
Yeah.
And it's especially when it came to what you can carry to protect yourself. So I don't know. It's kind of weird to me, man. You know, that.
Yeah, because it's been so many mixed reviews on that, and so much confusion when it came to that. Like what I've heard, every company that I've gone to, they'll say, "Hey, no guns allowed," because a company policy can supersede that of the law.
Right.
It can be greater than. It can't be less than, but it can be greater than. But then I've seen where I've heard a DOT officer, or even in the I read it somewhere in the green handbook, that the FMCSA handbook. But basically, you could have a weapon, but it's not supposed to be within arm's reach when you're driving. It's supposed to be unloaded and locked away.
Yeah.
The clip out of the gun. That's the way I've always heard, that you can carry it on your person, but that's how it has to be when you're driving. Now, when you stop and shut down for the night, that's a different story. But driving, it cannot be within arm's reach.
This is going to be a tricky situation because, in my opinion, I think drivers should be able to have protection when they're on that road like that. Because you could be broke down. Hey, we all know about sundown towns. But if you broke down in a sundown town,
right?
You know, I mean, I gotta follow these regulations to make sure that I'm ready to go, because they'll just drive by and start firing on you. And in those towns, can you trust law enforcement? I would say hell no. You know, it's a sundown town. They own the whole goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna be a tricky situation. You know, they're gonna use that situation to blow up all kind of rules and regulations depending on how far this go. And then on top of that, by it happening in the great state of Florida, you know, they're gonna push it. Yeah, I mean, like it's gonna be, I guess you could say, contradictory, because see, if they speak against drivers being able to have weapons on them in their state, then it's going to bring back the last few years when you was debating, you know, reconstructing the gun laws.
Yeah.
So what's this going to be? I mean, I don't really think they really too much give two shits, because we go back to the lady again who was in allegedly an abusive situation with her husband, and she fired one shot in the air. It gave her like around 7 years in the state of Florida, where you had a right to carry, where she was in a situation where she was in danger.
And she was standing her ground.
Right. She was standing her ground. And then you turn around and you give the guy who killed the young man at the gas station manslaughter. And he actually killed somebody. So I don't know. He gonna have to have, some people really involved in his case because he lives in Virginia. He's got a charge in Florida that's going to put a strain on his family because the distance is so great, back and forth. And then on top of that, they got him locked up with no bond.
Right.
So who's to say that the judge won't say this bond hearing? I'm not giving you a bond because you're a high risk because you're from another state. That's going to destroy that man's whole life. He hadn't even had a chance to get back home and get his house in order. So it's just a bad situation, man. I think drivers should really think not twice, 3-4 times before you act in a situation when you're out here on this highway. Because you got to think about it. When you act out in a different state that's not of your home state, you have to keep that in mind. It's a process with these charges. You could be considered a high risk because you're not of that state. And they can revoke your bond and you'll be trapped in that state like the movie Life.
Yeah, because that's the first thing. If, depending on what type of attorney he finds for himself, that's the first thing they're going to try to do is, okay, let's give him a bond. Let him get home so he can try to, get his affairs in order. But that's going to be at the sole discretion of that lawyer, not the lawyer, the judge.
Well, really, more so the DA than the judge, because it seems like in a lot of situations the DA have more power because
they got a lot of power.
Yeah, because he's like the judge right hand man. The judge might look at the DA and say, "Well, what do you think?" DA may say, "Well, I don't want him to leave the state. We might have to spend too much money getting him expedited here if he decides to run. What does he have to lose if he's not an owner operator? He's already lost his job." Whether he leased on or a company driver. So DA might say, what does he have to lose? He may run.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing because the driver who told it, as in all the media outlets, they calling him the victim. They said the victim went to stopped at the Loves. And he's the one that reported it, and that's when the police they went and found the guy. What's his name? Dylan Valentine, something like that. And that's when they found him.
The suspect.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm willing to bet you. I'm not trying to choose sides, but I've been in those situations where I've been on a highway, and it's like drivers be trying you, swerving over on you because your truck only goes 6 to 8 miles an hour and theirs goes 75, so they get frustrated by traffic because they can't get around you and mad because you won't break your speed going up a hill because you're lighter than them, they're heavier than you, and then they start doing old crazy stuff, swerving on you, just like we saw that guy do in that video there. You could clearly see that, like I said earlier, they've been going back and forth. It didn't just start because even in the article, it said they pulled over to the side. And the alleged victim is claiming he pulled off and the other driver chased him down.
Right.
I just can't take that at face value due to my experience out there on the highway. And I'm talking about most of us, we're guilty on both sides of it. We start shit and we try to end shit. All of us are guilty on both sides. We all done had those frustrating days where if you didn't do nothing stupid, you imagine it. We've all had those frustrating days. It's just that you have to keep in mind that just as well as your day is frustrated, someone else's day is frustrated too. Just as well as you may want to do something because a person is aggravating you, that next person may be willing to actually do it.
Right.
You have to just be careful.
Yeah, that's so true. But, a lot of guys, when years ago, guys would get on the CB and they'd be talking to each other and and they said, man, go on, pull over. You know, they get in there and start talking and cussing each other out. Man, pull on over. Hey, we finna pull over right here. And, you know, they pull over on the side of the road, and then you might have other truck drivers who've been listening for however many miles. They pull over with them so they can see a good fight.
Yeah. And
sometimes they get into the truck stop and do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, like you said, now you go into a fist fight to somebody you going to thinking you having a fist fight and someone else bringing the gun to the fist fight.
Right.
You know, so it ain't worth it. Yeah. But either way, both of them could have avoided that situation by just minding their own business.
Right. Right. Now, if it was the case that other driver lied, and not either way, to me, they're both going to end up being wrong in the situation. But if it's the case where they pulled off and they restarted and that other driver was still swerving on them and stuff like that, I mean, I don't agree with it, but I can understand why he reacted the way he did. I can understand that. You know, I mean, he's only human. You know, we can act like, as I would say this here, it's easy to say what you won't do if you ain't even in the situation. You can easily say, true. I wouldn't do that. That was stupid. Until you've been in that situation. Who knows? Could have had his kid in that truck with him.
You know, and as one of the police officers said also, you know, being that they had bullet holes when he shot from that passenger side, he shot into the passenger side. There was also bullet holes in the driver's side door, in the driver's side window. When he shot into the victim's truck, and he shot through the passenger window, and it also bullet holes went through the driver's side window.
Oh, I'm sure of that. Yeah.
And so what one of the officers was saying is, hey, you know, just because it shot through that window, they don't stop traveling. You know, the bullets keep going. So as we said before, they're charging him on the possibilities of what could have happened, even though no one was injured or killed, just the possibilities of what could have happened. What if those stray bullets hit northbound traffic? They were going southbound on 75, and the bullets could have gone into the northbound traffic and hit someone.
So did he have bullet holes in his truck?
I didn't hear them say anything about that, but I'm pretty sure they did. They said that the victim was shooting. Well, the victim, you know, admitted to shooting back, saying that he was in fear for his life. But I didn't hear them say anything about bullet holes or how many or whatever. Yeah.
So if you look at the video before he started shooting at him, that driver was coming up on the left side of him. You know what I'm saying? Did you pay attention to that?
Well, yeah, I see him like he was about to pass him, but was it because that guy slowed down so he could come on by?
He was swerving on him as he passed him. Look at how close his trailer got to his window. Look at that. Right as he started shooting, that dude had started swerving on him.
Yeah.
As if, like, I don't know how much of that video it is, but to me, that looks like they was going back and forth before he even started shooting.
Right. And that's, of course, that was going on. They were going back and forth. That's what I would like to know. You know, rewind that tape an hour back. You know, 30 minutes prior to that and what was going on. How long had they been going back and forth and everything?
Right. That's going to be the big part of the case.
Right. Which I'm pretty sure that's what they're going to do, you know, when they're building their case.
Right. See, this is a media thing to put out this short clip because, you know, you got to have a victim and you got to have a suspect. You know, it wouldn't have did the media no justice to get a lot of clicks on this just by posting the whole video and showing the full deal if the sheriff department gave them the full video. The sheriff department may have just cut it and just gave them that portion to justify their reason for arresting this guy.
Yeah.
But like I say, when the DA reviews this, they might be coming back for that other driver too.
I'm pretty sure they would. Give him some time.
Yeah.
They'll announce charges for him and saying that they're looking for him.
Right. Cause if he did that right there, like if that was the start of the video, look, he coming in swerving on him. As he swerving on him, he reach out the window, start shooting, as if he was already expecting that driver to swerve on him.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So to me, it may the other driver truck may have been faster.
Could have been.
So if he was faster, he could have easily avoided that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so either that truck was faster or this guy slowed down.
Or that guy slowed down. But like I said, if you look at the video, you can see the white in the background, his trailer right up on the side of him.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
But either way, they both was engaging with one another.
Right.
Right.
Right. But you know what
that's for certain.
Huh?
I say, yeah, that was for certain.
Right. But see, when, you know what I'm saying? Like I say, I'm not justifying anything, but this is what I'm saying. If you're in a truck going 65 miles an hour and you got a person that's in a truck going 75, 80 miles an hour where his truck could go that fast and he hell bent on starting shit.
Yeah.
Just got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might have to suffer the consequences. Who's to say if he didn't do what he didn't do, that dude wouldn't have tried to run him off the road for whatever reason they was pissed off at each other about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because like I say, my personal story, I've had many situations where I get on the CB like, yeah, I'll pull over with you, or yeah, pull your ass over. And then I see them pull over and I'm, whoom. I'm ahead of you now. So, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not indulging in that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You catch me at the truck stop. What's witnesses at?
Right. Yeah, instead of on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, I'm not indulging in no mess like that, man. People, you know, like I said, people get hurt out there in the worst way, running up on people they don't know anything about. You don't know what this man going through. This man probably called his house at 3:00 in the morning to talk to his wife, and his brother picks up the phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the next person's going through. So,
yeah,
you know, like I say, just have to be careful.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. That's one of them things. I'm sure. Well, we know it's a developing story, but we'll see how they play it out if they're going to have it available, you know, in the national spotlight for all of us to see what's going on as they continue to come with more information with this, because I would definitely like to know how this plays out.
Yeah, just had to keep track, because see, something like that, from what I see, that's a headline. Big news: truck driver shoots at another truck driver during road rage. The media very rarely comes back with that same big headline giving details on what happened.
Right.
You know, so if you're not paying attention to it, you'll never see it. And, you know, and it's unfortunate because, you know, people are already developing their opinion about this guy because they looking at it from a simplified way. They don't know what happened. You know what I mean? Just, you know, like I say, he's wrong, but I think they're both wrong. You know,
yeah.
I'm looking at the driver swerving, you know, and I'm speaking from the perspective of a driver, not the perspective of all that other, you know what I'm saying? You know, I look at things in a different way. I'm looking at the perspective of a driver, and it's possible that, you know, that other driver was probably on some BS and probably got what he was looking for. Well, he got what he wasn't looking for, but he was looking for it. That's the possibility.
Yeah,
you know, because I've seen that crap too many times. I've even seen drivers pull over and block the whole highway because they into it with another driver. Stupid.
Yeah,
absolutely stupid.
Yeah, a lot of guys, they get real bold on the CB, especially when they feel like you don't know where they are.
Right.
Yeah, they get real bold on the CB. And then those be the same guys when you at the truck stop opening the door for me. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah. Yeah.
After they just got finished talking crazy to you on the CB.
Right, right. Well, it's kind of weird to some, but it may make sense to others. Some people feel like they win in a fight just by out talking you, over talking you, or talking about you and getting under your skin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, guys like me call them cowards.
Yeah.
But that's just some people way. Some things you just have to let roll off your skin and just understand it's just talk. So what if he call you a racial slur? He don't know you. He don't know nothing about you. And then on top of that, he can't affect your bottom line by calling you that. I mean, you just have to look at it in a more mature way. I didn't look at it in a mature way when I was younger. It took me a while to get it. But I'm letting a lot of people, not just drivers, people know you need to catch that while you're young right now, because the times that we're living in now, you don't get many second chances.
Yeah.
To get it right. I tell my kids that all the time, try to be respectful, be able to notice a bad personality before you get too deeply involved with it. To the point where you can't turn back. That's whether you get in a relationship with a woman or friendship or whatever. Just start noticing all the things that you can't deal with, and just find a way to minimize it or just delete it altogether.
Right.
I mean, life goes on.
It does.
Some people call me cold because of the way I move. I just move in a way like this here. I try not to care about a whole lot of things that don't mean anything to me. Now, I help anybody as long as they help me, but like, even with the help, when I start noticing that I'm getting shut down, I'll start watching them fall, and I would know. You know what I mean? It's just that you just have to know how to bag off of certain people, especially when you're on the highway. You don't even know a lot of these people. I'm not even big on just being so open to try to make a lot of friends, because you don't know who you're inviting into your bubble.
That's true.
So you just have to be careful.
That's true. Yeah. So he's in the what they call it, the Marion County jail down there in Florida. So I guess that's around Ocala. So yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. So I'm sure that that the local media down there will have more on that story, as it unfolds. So for anybody who want to know, try to keep track of that local media and see what's going on with this story as they come out with more information on it.
Right. Yeah. But that's all we wanted to really touch bases on, Gene. I just want to touch base on that. It hadn't really been a whole lot going on in the trucking industry. It's just been kind of like balanced out, same old line ass statistics about the rates and all that shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But no other major companies going out of business other than what?
Well,
Convoy ain't gonna pay nobody their money.
Well, I was going to say, that's what I was just about to talk about, Convoy. Flexport getting back started up as Convoy, right?
I think they already have.
Right. And they've already started onboarding new carriers.
Right.
And a lot of the carriers who didn't get paid through Convoy have onboarded back with Flexport.
They have onboarded.
Yeah. So
they won't pull for.
Well, they're still they're signing back up with them.
I thought you said they onboarded.
Yeah, they're what they call it onboarding. I probably said it wrong, but I wasn't trying to say onboarding, but onboarded, and that's what they call it when they're on. They're signing them on to sign to run with them.
Right.
And so Flexport, all of the carriers who were running with Convoy have signed up to run with Flexport. Not all of them, but quite a few of them have.
I thought they kept the same name.
They may have, but they calling it Flexport, and they said they starting up as Flexport. But the article that I was reading, it was talking about Flexport getting started, and maybe they are going to keep that same name as Convoy, but
Yeah, that's
Kept the
what I
flex
had read.
or in the articles that I was reading.
Huh? You said what now?
I said the article that I was reading, they had kept saying Flexport.
Yeah, Flexport is the owner, but they said they was going to open up as Convoy. You know what I'm saying? But the way it was looking to me, like they was going to have the Flexport name involved in it. So
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
Let's see. Their website is back up.
Convoys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because their website was down at one time, right?
I had never gone on their website.
No, I'm talking about from the last report we did. Then we report that they had shut down their website. The drivers couldn't get access.
Right. They did do that.
Yeah, I'm looking at their website now, and they got and they just say Convoy, and they got it where you can go ahead on here and sign on and everything.
Okay.
Well, they got on here where you got to download the app if you're a carrier. And if you're a broker, they got in here, well, it says available soon. The Convoy platform will be available to new brokers' account in the near future. Provide your contact details below to be notified when access is available. So the broker part, they hadn't started onboarding any new brokers yet. But it look like they're onboarding carriers. And they doing it under the Convoy name.
Okay.
Yeah, so they keeping the name. They just didn't want to deal with the debt.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and what was the name of that? The bank that they was using? Was it Venture?
Was it Ikea? Let me see. No, Ikea was a firm.
It was a financial company that was associated with venture capital.
Okay.
I want to say it was Gorilla Capital or something like that. But they the ones that sold the software to Flexport. And they pretty much put out a statement. They said carriers need to get with their factoring company to retrieve their money. Now, my thing is with this here is that I hope it wasn't a lot of trucking companies using their factoring companies with a company like Convoy, because you could have, got your money directly through Convoy through their quick pay system. You didn't have to sign on with their factoring team to get paid. They had a quick pay system in play to where you could just directly submit your invoices to them. Now, you do have some factoring companies that wanna own all your invoices, but but I never dealt with them because to me, I didn't want to deal with that.
No, that didn't make no sense anyway.
Right.
Now, were you talking about Hercules Capital?
Hercules Capital. That's the name of the financial institution that took over Convoy's assets in foreclosure.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and they never said how much they sold the software to Flexport for.
No, they didn't.
So, Flexport wouldn't technically be on the hook for the debt, but I don't understand how they still able to keep the same name though. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know, but back to about ways of getting their money. I think it was Transport Topic or Overdrive Online. They had reported this, but so what they trying to do now? They trying to get together and go after the shippers for payment. But see,
I remember seeing something like that.
Right, and that's probably where you got Ikea from, because Ikea is one of the shippers. That's one of the big name shippers that they're planning on going after, because one of them carriers were owed over $100,000.
Yeah, one carrier said he was owed like $500,000.
Okay, it was $500,000. Yeah. He had dedicated the majority of his trucks to their contract freight system. Right. It sounds like
a lot of those guys who lost a lot of money were running pretty much contract freight, dedicated contract freight.
Hmm.
They said one of the carriers left unpaid by Convoy and now tied up in the, no, I misread it, but it's a $519,000 lawsuit against Convoy with former Convoy customer Ikea.
So Ikea is suing Convoy.
That's what it appears to be. It claims Convoy left it unpaid on $160,000 worth of invoices back in October. And shoot, that's $160,000. This guy he had 8 trucks out of Illinois.
Wait a minute, is Ikea a shipper or a trucking company?
Ikea is supposed to be a shipper, but I think this Ikea was suing Convoy. Let me see. The name of this trucking company was called Eagle Radovish. And
right.
They were old.
So are they suing IKEA?
No, to me, what I'm getting from this is that they're suing Convoy with. Let me read this. Hold on, getting it mixed up. See, one of the carriers, Eagle Radovish, left unpaid by Convoy and now tied up in the $519,000 lawsuit with former Convoy customer Ikea.
Okay.
So it's like they're all together suing against Convoy. Claims Convoy left it unpaid.
Right, but like what would Convoy owe the shipper unless they didn't deliver their freight? I thought they cleared out all their freight.
They didn't say that in an article why they were suing them.
Yeah, I think they got that mixed up because what I had read. Who are you reading that from? What's the source?
This is a Overdrive Online. Yeah, this Overdrive Online article that came out today, actually.
Yeah, because I know they had named the list of shippers, and Ikea was one of the shippers. That they got this lawyer, something bankruptcy. It started with an A. It's a law firm that specializes in debt collection.
Okay.
And they made the statement that they was going to get with the drivers to go after all the shippers that Convoy was associated with. And Ikea was one of the names, and I think General Mills, Kellogg's too, I believe.
Okay.
Were some of the names that they was going to include in the lawsuit. So that may be what they meaning by when they say tied up in a lawsuit. They may be compiling Convoy and all the shippers that they was doing business with and trying to bring them all in a lawsuit for the drivers to get their money. And the $500,000 probably totaling up to how much they owe the drivers that's in the lawsuit, that's involved in the lawsuit.
Yeah.
And now, what did they say about the $160,000 with Ikea? I thought you said something about that.
That was talking about one trucking company was owed about $160,000. Oh,
okay. Because when you said it first, you said something about Ikea and $160,000.
Well, they were putting them together. They said $519,000 lawsuit with former Convoy customer Ikea. And so. And what's owed to this guy is what he was saying was $160,000 that was left unpaid.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's the one that went out of business behind that.
It didn't say he went out of business. Actually, it said he signed back up to run with them recently. He said he had to shut a couple of his trucks down, but he signed up to run with them.
Well, he don't have any trust issues.
Right.
I don't know. I just can't see myself doing that. I can't see myself, working back with a company, that owe me money. Not especially, like that.
Especially that much money.
Right. Yeah, not like that. When I read the article a couple of weeks ago when all this was unfolding, it did a comparison because I think one guy was owed 600 and something, and another one was owed over 100 and some thousand, and he went out of business. Well, I ain't gonna say he. That company had went out of business. It said that in the article. So this must be another guy, or it could have been the same guy that was misquoted in the first article.
Okay, yeah, because he said he was running dedicated freight and he was running loads every day with those 8 trucks. He kept those 8 trucks busy.
Oh, so, I'm sure he was running every day.
Yeah.
More low rate ass loads they had up there on that contract deal.
Yeah. They say even though one of the guys was saying, even though the rates weren't great, it was a lot of consistent high volume freight, and it was better than running the spot market. Yeah. Than running the spot market, trying to put stuff together. He was able to stay consistent, and he was running kind of local too. So he said, so that's what one of them said. It made sense for them to just come on back. Hopefully he get his money back.
Yeah. Yeah, 160 grand. And you say he only had 8 trucks?
That's what he said. He had 8 trucks running. So I don't know how long was he running for him to be missing out on 160,000.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know what I'm saying? Like what he got going.
I didn't see that in there with how long he was running. Before he realized, okay, we can't. We got to shut it down. How long was he not getting paid his money?
Well, you know, that right there could easily be accumulated in 30 days if he was running every day, like he said.
Yeah.
You know, that could easily be accumulated. No, but see, that wasn't my question. My question was, you know, you got trucks. You know, you got guys who got put out, you know, they had more trucks than that. Yeah. They got put out of commission with a loss of less than that.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that's, you know, now he may have not have had a lot of debt other than his drivers, but I don't know what he was paying his drivers, but that would have put a hurt on unless he just had some drivers that's cool like that, which I doubt it, that they willing to wait on their money with him.
Unless he was paying them up front, no matter what.
Yeah, but unless he had some other kind of money in reserve, he must have had a good amount of money in reserves to be able to take a hit like that. That's almost $200,000.
Yeah.
And you still got taxes to pay. And you ain't got but 800. I mean, you ain't got but 8 trucks rolling. That math ain't mathing to me. I'm sorry. It just, you know what I'm saying? I'm a mathematical person. Right now, that article is saying 2 + 2 = 5, and I ain't stupid like that. You know, so I don't know what that is. You know what I'm saying? I can see him saying he had 20 trucks running, and he had to shut 12 of them down. I could see that.
Yeah.
And he may have kept 8 loyal drivers with him. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And in most cases, those are probably going to be family members who have the same ambition and aspirations as you do. The reason why they're going to hang tough with you like that. You know, and they probably listen to each other and work with each other and got their money in order. But, you know, that's a hit. You know, big time.
It's a big one. Yeah, it's a big one.
You know, especially if you got owner-operator. So, like I say, unless he just has some loyal guys, I don't see how that math is math. And they would have to be real loyal.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know, man. More power to him. You know, I hope it does work out for him like that where he could build back up. But, you know, like I say, man, that's a $160,000 hit. And then on top of that, you know, what has he been doing all this time? Maybe he have been trying to keep busy, you know, to try to recoup some of that money. But I don't know. You know, that's a lot of money, and that's a lot of shit, man. That's a lot of your time you dedicating to Convoy, man. It's just my experience with Convoy. They just Yeah, like I don't know how Flexport is playing it, but they probably paying a little more and probably got more opportunities since they do specialize in intermodal. They probably got more power only opportunities geared toward that.
Yeah.
That could probably make up for a lot of that stuff. So we gonna see how it play out.
Yeah, because I know a lot of guys who did. I know one guy in particular out of Atlanta. He did Convoy a lot. A lot of his loads with Convoy or maybe C.H. Robinson. But I never really. They had a few loads that I liked when I had my authority, but they weren't my number one source.
Right.
For loads.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They were like in my top 4 when I first came out in 2018. They had some pretty good loads running out from Memphis to Texas, Memphis up north, to like Illinois. They had some good paying loads then. Them and Uber, all of them had good paying loads. It's just that they started dropping their rates way before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they started dropping their rates way before the pandemic. We started seeing, and I'm talking about before the pandemic, we started seeing loads from Memphis to Joliet, Illinois drop from $1,800 to eventually down to about $1,000, and that was before the pandemic. They were doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe Flexport coming in with a new way. Maybe they done upped the rates and made it more profitable. Anybody who catch this video, drop it in the comments and let us know. Is Convoy paying more now with a new owner, or is it about the same?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know.
Yeah, because right now they got I think the way I read the article, the way it sounds like they're going to be taking on all the drivers that they've been working with. Sound like they're going to be taking them on first, as well as the brokers that they've been working with. Then they're going to start pulling more in. Maybe they're trying to build their book back up, their book of customers. With these lawsuits going on, it may be some trust issues there, but who knows? We hadn't looked into who the shareholders are in Flexport. Come to think of it, I believe I did. I can't think of the guy's name, but I think they got like a sole owner. They may be privately owned.
Flexport, okay.
Flexport may be a privately owned company. I have to go back and look. But if it's a public company, it's not going to be a problem with him getting that trust back with the other shippers, because the same shareholders in that company probably going to be shareholders with Ikea, General Mills, Home Depot, and so forth. So it wouldn't be no problem with them building a book back. But if he a private owner, it may be a little bit more of a challenge.
Yeah.
For him to make sure he getting all those customers back.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they want to make sure they got some companies in position to move the freight before they start, promising a lot to the shippers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because at one point I want to say Convoy had like 50,000 carriers onboarded with them, something like that.
I can't remember how many they had. It may have been more than that.
Okay.
It may have, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I would have to look that up. Yeah, so hopefully everything work out for the drivers who came up short. I got a feeling, and I hope I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I got a feeling that they're gonna spend this off so much that it's probably gonna become too expensive to the law firm that's putting this in play, that they're probably not gonna follow through with it, because they're gonna. Because, Hercules already said, we paid the factoring company and we ain't paying nothing else. And if Hercules took over all of Convoy's assets as well as their debt because they helped funded them. I think they gave them like $100 million loan not long before they actually went out of business. So if they owned all the assets, surely they owned all the debt. And if they owned all the debt, whatever shipper that owed Convoy, you better believe they recouped that money. And if those shippers have already paid, they're not going to pay again.
Right.
And if Hercules has already said we paid the factoring company, and I know personally, factory companies don't always do a great job on keeping up with their books.
Yeah.
Because they put drivers through so much about getting their money because they pay you within 24 to 72 hours. So it's money out there in the air, just tied up. So I don't know. I don't know how that's going to play out.
Sure, we definitely going to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely going to see because like I said, they getting everybody signed up right now and we'll see what type of customers that they have because most of the guys who were coming back said they were coming back because it really ain't much going on right now. And they liked the way how easy and simple the app was for them to play in. So, and they said the app is still easy and simple for some of the guys who signed up.
Right. I'm pretty sure they kept the same format because, you know, they wanted to buy Convoy software anyway. And I think when the owner of Convoy was shopping it around, I think the most he got offered was like $50 million. Which wouldn't have covered that $100 million debt that he owed Hercules.
Okay.
You know. So, to be continued.
Hey, we'll see.
Yeah. Until next time. Peace out.